Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Yev. I already did review for this MADE68 recently, maybe a couple of months ago, but this time this is a MADE68 Pro. And I just got this pack from the Kickstarter project, what this guy managed to launch, right? And today I want to show you what I have inside these boxes from Kickstarter. Also, we will check the overall look of this MADE68 Pro. And what is the most important, we will compare this Pro version with just MADE68. Is it make sense to invest into the Pro version or not? Stay tuned. Okay, here you go. Red color, pretty soft one, and in general looks interesting. Let's see how it will look together with the keyboard. Next, let's open the accessories box. Okay, some tools and screws. Here we go. This is an aluminum case for this keyboard with some dampening foam for the PCB, I suppose. I don't know for sure. And it looks pretty nice. Magnetic switch keyboard, MelGeek, play for fun, not to win, and all of that. So far so good. This case looks really amazing, by the way. And now let's open the box with the keyboard itself. And this is a keyboard itself. Okay, I recall that I ordered it in a red color, so that's why we have a wrist thread in red color. Looks pretty good, guys. Also we have a quick guide, user manual, keycap puller, additional keycaps, and braided USB cable. Okay guys, let's do a quick review of the keyboard itself, and then we will be able to test today this aluminum case, so it will be aluminum version of the same keyboard. So you will be able to compare and hear the sound test for this based version and same but with aluminum case. Okay, so what do we have as a main parameters of this keyboard? So first of all, this is a 68 keys with ANSI layout, and they are hot swappable, which is good. And switch type obviously magnetic. Keycaps is ABS. Because it's a magnetic, obviously we have a rapid trigger. In this Pro version we have this adjustable actuation from 0.1 to 4 millimeters. And weight of this plastic one is a little bit less than 1 kg. So what is unique in this keyboard from overall look point of view? First of all, we have these panels on the left and the right side, and we can change them. For example, I have this spare panels, white version, so I can change them. Also, when I will switch on, you will see this RGB part on the front sides, which is super cool. We don't have any adjustable fits on the back side, right? And we have only one USB-C port on this side because it's a wired keyboard. We don't have wireless connectivity. From keycaps point of view, we have this double shot ABS plastic keycaps, right? Again, when I will be able to switch it on, we will see the RGB, but they are not shine through, so RGB will in general add some colors to the keyboard. Under the keycaps we have a magnetic switch, right? And this is a TTS or TTC COM switch, pretty clicky. So under the switch we don't have any switch layer, which is a little bit sad, but this is a common practice for all magnetic switches, just not to play with this 0.01 millimeter of distance, because you need to be super precise to be able to adjust this magnetic switch. So that's why it's very rare when they adding the switch pad, right? Also, we have a south facing RGB. So theoretically, if you want to use a side printed keycaps, you can do this with this PCB. Okay guys, let's go. Let's connect this keyboard to my gaming PC. Let's check the driver, RGB and sound test. Let's quickly connect this keyboard using my USB-C cable, right? And to be able to access this driver, it's a web driver, so you need just to go to hive.melgeek.com and connect your keyboard. Very easy. Now, what we have as functions. Let's start from the RGB, and I need to say that RGB is not a strongest part of this keyboard because I'm trying to do the settings for some time already, and it's pretty dark right now in the room, but as you may see, it's no much RGB at all. This backside is only red, regardless of the color. For example, I want yellow, but it will not be yellow, right? You see it's still red. And for the backlight itself, we have this brightness level, and if we will slide it more than 36, it may cause some abnormal phenomenon. It sounds strange, right? So basically, they are not suggesting to use the full brightness, and on a recommended brightness, it's barely I can see any RGB. So this is about RGB. Now we have these functions like a super key. You can use this macros, shortcuts, snap tap or snap tap, and QWERTY. And this is a rapid trigger, right? You have several profiles like a default or typing or rapid or esport. No much changes, at least I cannot see them. But it's recommended to put like 0.5 as a rapid trigger function with 1.5 millimeters actuation and a bottom dead zone as 0.04 millimeters. Obviously, you can change these parameters as you wish, for example, to 1 millimeter, and that's all. So now, how this keyboard is sound? Sound is not bad, but for me a little bit kind of dead. I don't know how to explain, but this is not a warm sound, you know, it's rather like really cold one, if you understand what I'm talking about. Okay guys, so let's check what we have inside this keyboard, how we can change these panels and how it will look with different accessories. Okay, here you go. You need just to unscrew 1 million screws and you have access to the internal part of this keyboard. You can see that it's wired, so we don't have any batteries, but still we have these wires, so be careful. And this is just to provide the power and management to this LED bar for the backside, right? On the bottom side we have the silicone layer, which is great. Internal part of the PCB sandwich consists of the PCB itself, of this metal switch plate and some dampening foam inside, right? So from the structure point of view, everything looks good, and by the way, PCB itself looks amazing. Okay, here we go. I'm done with replacement of the case from plastic to aluminum. Now this keyboard looks like a real premium keyboard, and it's pretty hefty, which is pleasant in your hand, pleasant weight, and it looks good. But let's see now how it sounds. Okay guys, so what I can say, the metal case, the aluminum case looks much more premium, and it's much more premium in general keyboard in this case, and it's pretty heavy in your hand. And from the sound point of view, sound is a little bit kind of dead. It's like you are hitting a plastic hammer to the metal something, and in reality it's true, because you have a plastic keycaps and you have a metal switch plate. So, but in general it's okay. Now the question is, what is the difference between Pro version and simple? That I can see only a difference in switches. In this case we have this TTC COM, but also it supports like 10 another magnetic switches, which is cool. We have this 8000 Hz pulling rate in this Pro version and 1000 in a simple version. Guys, I told you many times, this is just a marketing stuff. You are never gonna to see the difference between 1000 and 8000. So if I will give you a 10 keyboards, right, only one will be with 8K pulling rate, and you will need to guess which one. You will not be able to do so. So this is just a market. From the switches point of view, in this case we have TTC COM switches, right? But I also have another TTC King and TTC Uran, and I have a bunch of Gatron magnetic switches. So in the next video I'm gonna to do a full test of all these types of switches, so you will be able to understand what is difference between TTC and Gatron on this example, of this keyboard, right? So if you want to see and you want to understand what is the difference in different magnetic switches, check my next video on the channel.